Billionaires' most expensive homes. The world's affluent have the weirdest, most distinctive, and occasionally worthless dwellings. These are billionaires' most expensive residences. First, celebrity couple Jay-Z and Beyoncé had to go all out while buying a mansion. The most expensive California mansion sold off Malibu's beachfront. This monster appears alien, and Jay-Z has been attacked on stage, so they require the greatest protection. To defend themselves, they install bulletproof windows everywhere. A drone-equipped creep could view their 4 outdoor pools, but I'm not sure why they need them since they have a private beach. A full basketball court, jacuzzi, and gym are included. This mansion is valued at over $200 million more than Travis Scott's net worth. This Tony Stark-looking home, advertised for $500 million, intended to beat Jay-Z's record for the most expensive home sold. This 105,000 square foot modern mansion is the largest in the US. Like the Fresh Prince, it's in Bel Air's hills. Due to its odd rooms, such as a jellyfish and candy room, no billionaires wanted to acquire it. A nightclub, beauty salon, 5 pools, and an outdoor running track are nice. It's possible to live here alone. Despite its beauty, no one wanted to buy at that price, but Fashion Nova CEO Richard Sagan, worth $1.3 billion, saved the owners from bankruptcy. He paid $141 million, $359 million less than the asking price. Bro got the deal of a lifetime. You won't believe how much Richard Branson paid for an island. This Caribbean island has strange species like flamingos and lemurs. It's ideal for kite surfing. Even if his company is called Virgin, this area is so disgusting no baddie would leave. There are villas, houses, and hundreds of staff to meet your needs. A gold digger's dream, you may rent the entire island for $105,000 a night. Mr. Beast alone can afford that. Though if he bought the island in the late 1970s before values rose, it only cost him $180,000. He's made some money back, but his island upgrade costs are unknown. He rebuilt even more lavish homes when his head house burned down. Therefore, it must be in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. As a film nerd's heaven, George Lucas's residence wasn't about luxury. The Skywalker Ranch is one of Billionaire's most stunning properties. Its vineyards, mountain peaks, and sweeping landscapes evoke Victorian times. Yoda's statue, Charlie Chaplin's hat and cane, and a new John Lennon drawing are scattered around the property. This ranch is most famous for housing Lucasfilm's sound division, which makes most Star Wars and Indiana Jones films. Since a rented studio didn't sound appropriate, George built his own. At Skywalker Ranch, they can mix, design, and post-produce, and they have a gigantic movie theater with 3-story LED screens to premiere their films. They also have a large study library and several sound designer resources. Skywalker Ranch produces wine, olive oil, and wagyu meat as a ranch. If you get too wine drunk and start a fire, they have a fire department on call. I guess that's the price of solitude. Skywalker Ranch cost $100 million with these features. George had that much money, who knew? Maybe letting Disney wreck Star Wars was worth it. However, George Lucas isn't royalty like the British. British people always grumble about how much of their taxes go to the royal family. Once you know the value of their main palace, you may understand why they require your money. It has 775 rooms, a private doctor's office, a police station, and 25,000 wine bottles in its wine cellar. My God, there are secret passageways to a bunker in case Mad Max takes over the globe. It links all royal residences. Like the Princess Quarters Ballroom, theirs can hold over 600 guests, and practically every American president has visited. Over $5 billion is Buckingham Palace's value. That makes every royal senior a billionaire. The castle is one of the most costly residences in the world, yet Mukesh Ambani in India is also rich. He spent a fortune on a Mumbai property because he's worth over $11 billion. Over 27 stories, Antilia Tower rises 568 feet. Look at this. The inside is bigger. 6 lower levels hold 168 automobiles, while the top 4 floors are vertical gardens. Crystal chandeliers, a 50-seat movie theater, and an artificial snow ice area are there. It takes 600 servants to maintain this massive house. It looks like a Jenga tower waiting to crumble, but it can withstand a magnitude 8 earthquake. This values Ambani's home at around $2 billion. At least we know who owns it. One of the world's weirdest house owners is unknown, but we may know who it is. It's older with Georgian-style construction, but really good inside and has a lot of land. The big outdoor pool is rarely utilized because the property is mostly empty. Andriy Guriev, Putin's close advisor, may own this property. Fertilizer sales make him $5 billion. This business is owned by a cow dung seller, a disappointment I was hoping for Tupac's position. Bill Gates also keeps his house private. His house tour sold for $35,000 at a charity auction. Although futuristic on the inside, it looks like a cabin on the outside. which makes sense in Washington's woods. Bill labels it Citizen Kane's Xanadu 2.0. He wanted the house to be a smart home pioneer. Touchpad gadgets in each room let guests adjust lighting, music, and climate. Touch screens cost $80,000 and can display art or anything else. Bill can fish for salmon and trout in the house's front and back streams after an all-night coding session. He has a huge library with a $130 million book, which is absurd considering his mansion costs that much. Tiger Woods probably costs as much as his mansion. He made sure he could practice golf at home as one of the world's richest athletes. The backyard of Tiger's mansion has a 4-hole course, a short game area, and a video studio for swing analysis. We all know golfers sprint, so he has an oxygen therapy room and an outdoor track. He resides on Jupiter Island, a very luxurious Florida island. He paid $54 million for it because he's in an even more elite area with only 900 residents. Larry Ellison, like Tiger, needed time to avoid the limelight, so he built a peaceful, nature-friendly residence. The cliché, the house is cool. The bathhouse, Japanese gardens, and tea house reflected 16th century Japanese emperor's palace inspiration. He spent $70 million to relax. Ira Rennert wanted to bring Zen to New York, which I didn't think was possible. Rennert bought a $248 million Hamptons mansion to escape the gridlock. It may be worth $500 million now, though. This monster estate has 12 chimneys, but he spent $150,000 on his hot tub, too. This is the first home I've heard of with its power plant in case of a nuclear apocalypse. And obviously, he's not the only one concerned with it since Mark Zuckerberg's also prepared. He straight up bought a Hawaii doomsday city just in case. For years, he's been buying up over 14 acres of land to develop a compound of mansions, treehouses, and tunnels under the surface. The 5,000 square foot bunker has a blast-resistant entrance and lifelong energy and food. If we want to survive the apocalypse, we must be buddies with Zuck. Simply impersonate a lizard like the others. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are unconcerned. They purchased this luxurious French home after marrying. Historic 17th century houses exist on the property. Interestingly, Pink Floyd recorded portions of Asterisk, the wall asterisk, in this studio. The 500 acres of grapes were the main reason they bought it. It produces top-notch rosé wine and makes money year after year. Pitt was furious when Angelina sold 50% of the house after their divorce. Her contract prohibited selling and he sued for every penny. They sued for $250 million since they bought the property for $160 million, but made over $500 million from the winery. Due to their many $500 million mansions, the Saudi family, valued over $1.4 trillion, considers those statistics peasant. A separate apartment for exotic animals and snow rooms for winter in Saudi Arabia's sweltering desert is inside one. Underground beaches and caves are also in the palace. Talk about never leaving home. Saudi Arabia has to add stuff like that because it's not as attractive. While France has natural beauty, therefore the King of Belgium's villa can compete. A vast greenhouse, 50 acres of luxuriant plants, and a Mediterranean sea and hill vista are there. Classic films like Alfred Hitchcock's have been filmed there. At almost $750 million, Jay-Z and Beyoncé couldn't afford it. Russian billionaire Mikhail Prokhorov owns it. I don't understand why he ran for president against Putin in 2012 instead of relaxing. Thank goodness he wasn't beaten. Taylor Swift can afford a private aircraft between bathrooms, but her house is small. She has 7 additional mansions, but she paid cash for her largest Beverly Hills mansion, which is even crazy. This historic property owned by Samuel Goldwyn is difficult to refurbish. It has a Great Gatsby motif because Taylor intends to restore it to its 1934 grandeur when it hosted Hollywood's biggest stars. However, Swift paid $25 million for an Italian pool, tennis court, and screening room. Music is lucrative, but football players make more. It wasn't surprising when Lionel Messi bought the largest football player's home after signing his Miami deal and earning over $1.6 billion. He lives the best on this list. His private island is shaped like his logo. The oceanfront location has helicopter pads, super yacht docks, and a soccer pitch to keep his game clean. Messi's $100 million private island is still an idea. So this is the end of our today's video. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.